Dean Samuels, and I'm absolutely delighted. This is our first ever podcast with Mr. Chris Quigley.
Physical champs.
I would love to just welcome our first guest, Dan Anderson.
Nice to meet you.
It's an absolute pleasure, mate, to have you.
Yeah.
Obviously, I know you've been coming to Dean Samuels now for a while, mate. So just give us a wee bit of background, mate, about yourself.
Where do we start?
Let's go back to the start with you, Dan. Like sort of the start of your journey.
We'll say what I'm prominently probably known for. So I'm probably known in North Belfast for personal training, and obviously the greater Belfast area for personal training. But I'm also known as a professional boxing trainer. So I've worked in professional boxing for nearly 10 years now. So yeah, it's been a hell of a journey. I was a boxer. I was a rogue. I've been in all different sort of roads throughout my teenage life, to coming into to being a man, to being a business owner now, a gym owner, run my own professional boxing stable. So I've plenty to tell this. So how far do you want to go back?
Well, so if you're in the game now, sort of 10 to 12 years, let's go back to
how
10
did you
to 12
actually get
years,
into boxing? Where did that even come from, mate?
What was the
funny story? So I was in primary school. I was a good runner, so I was cross country runner, and I was in Park Lodge Primary School on the Antrim Road, and then I went to St Malachy's. So in first year I was pretty good cross country runner. I was running over in like some Margate and stuff, over with canyons and like top level runners. Like I wasn't a top level runner by all means at that point, but I was running with some of the best runners in Ireland. Actually, the fastest man in Ireland, Kevin Seaward, was in our running team. He's currently the fastest man in Ireland. I think he's the best marathon team. I hope I've got that fact right. But I'm near enough certain he is now the fastest man in Ireland. He's like Armo Farah. So he's our best marathon runner. So he was actually on the team. So it was around great athletes, even as far back as in first year. And I was a good student. I was pretty intelligent. I was getting up every morning, putting a wee vest on, putting the shorts on, even in the freezing cold, and running up the top of the cave hill. Like, so it was really, really dedicated.
What was even the incentive back then? What was Dan to sort of?
Well, I just think about
sort of stay off the streets, or is it sort of to sort of not get involved with the wrong crowd, or?
Well, I think I was involved with the wrong crowd at that point.
Right.
So I think I was gradually going maybe the wrong direction essentially, but to go from there. So like I was a pretty good student. I was doing my own cross country running. I felt like I was going places. I was torturing my man. I want to be a boxer because I watched Rocky. I was like, I want to be a boxer. I watched Rocky a couple of times. It was all the different Rockies. It was like, right, I don't want to be a runner. I want to be a boxer. So, and then the summer first year, my whole world just exploded, went upside down. Not everyone knows, but it's probably obvious that I've got ADHD, so pretty hyper and really out there. And I took my first ecstasy tablet, and I was like 13, 14, which was fucking, for a straight A student, cross country runner, it was completely set me a totally different path. And to be fair,
really struggle with that ADHD? Like,
I still do now. Like, I still do now. Like, there's options to medicate or just deal with the way I deal with it. So the way I deal with it is I just have to look after myself. If I'm drinking all the time, if I'm not looking after myself, if I'm not exercising, if I'm not eating well, it can become a bit of a problem. Whereas if I manage it my way of doing it, it's like a superpower, like, to be honest. Right. But if we go back to that summer, like, so that summer, first tablet, run the wrong crowd up a cave hill, and everything just went. I went from obviously being a really good student to like skipping classes to fucking
0 to 100.
Aye, smoking dope, to partying every weekend. Like,
especially sort of being at St Malachy's too, the sort of consensus is obviously sort of cracking the books and sort of obviously, staying in school the best you can, like, so if you're a bit of a tearaway, then obviously it can be a bit of a problem, I'm sure, as well, like, sort of
100%. They're looking straight A, they're looking the perfect student. But like, so when that happened, then I completely went in a different path. So like, school was the last thing in my priority. It was partying, it was taking drugs, I was getting involved in selling drugs. It was all the wrong things, and it wasn't my parents' fault. My mother was a nurse, my father worked for part in agriculture. Like, we had a good upbringing, we're from a good area, but essentially we were always looking for like looking for the madness and the trouble and stuff. But I think after that, then my mother, who was a bit apprehensive to get me into boxing because she was a nurse. She didn't like the thought of me getting hit.
Didn't hurt.
Aye, well, essentially,
Like any mum, isn't it?
well, it's their job to protect you, essentially. So, but once I started to go renegade, once I started to like completely go the wrong direction, then it made sense to me with a boxing club. So I started in the Holy Family Boxing Club with one of Ireland's probably greatest and most famous coaches, Jerry Story, and the likes of Carl Frampton would have been there, and Paddy Barnes, and all sorts of cracking fighters come through this amazing gym, Olympians and stuff like that. And I went down there, and to be honest, I was still reckless. I was still partying the weekends, but the boxing during the week was a wee bit of solitude from the madness. Like, don't get me wrong, some of the partying and raves and buses to raves, and I had some amazing experiences going to Planet Love and God's Kitchen and doing all these epic things. But like eventually all them highs become lows, and like I was going the wrong direction, and I started to get maybe heavily involved in the sort of drug thing, and a lot of people don't actually know that about me, that I was an absolute rogue in my teenage years. And I think the turning point, like I was 21, I was really out of shape, and it's funny because we were sitting in the Barber's Chair, we're talking about the Barber's Chair. I fell asleep at a party and someone saved me out, right? And that was the done thing. People thought that was funny at that stage. Like, so it was in around Christmas time, and I went home to my dad. I went home to my house to get ready. I was going back out in the rip. It was like Christmas holidays, like fucking no eyebrow. And my dad went to me for services, like the fucking stadium. Fucking, you're out of shape. You're fucking off your tits every weekend. You're doing fucking numb yourself. Like, your potential to be a great runner and a boxer, but you just sort your shit out. And like my dad just ironed me out that day, and like, and
parents always see the other side, but as well, do you know what I mean? They're always trying to keep you grounded, like. No doubt at all. Like, no, they were always great parents. So like, it's nothing to do with my upbringing. Essentially, it was just I just went took. I just went mental. But essentially, I think when my dad went through me that day for a shortcut, something just clicked. And I was like, Dad, see this year I'm gonna have a six pack. I'm gonna fucking do a charity cycle because my dad does charity cycles. Like, I'm gonna completely and utterly change my life here. Like I'm ready for this. Like, I'm ready. And what age are you about this saying?
I'm 21. Like,
okay,
so I just think that whatever he said to me, I just sort of went, look, and my surname's Anderson. I'm very proud of my family. My granddad was a legend, and that I've created a bit of a boxing brand. We're talking about like the thing and stuff, like, and sort of representing my family and stuff. So like, I come from a very sort of proud family. The Andersons are really good people. Like, have really good uncles and just really great family. And like, when I started doing the charity cycle, they all done that together, and I spent more times with my uncles and my older cousins, and people I really looked up to. And my dad also, like, doing that charity cycle, I think it's like once a year, we cycle the car knocking back and raise money for the cancer fund for kids. That was a massive thing for me, because that really helped me. And then I got back into boxing and I was like, Dad, I'm going to prove all this stuff. I'm going to prove that I can actually
relit the flame for you as well, like.
More than like it did, because what I realised as well is like all these so-called mates shaving your eyebrow, like they only really wanted you when you were in the drug scene. When you had the bags of gear, no, like that. That's what they wanted, but essentially.
I think you made a really great point there, mate, about like how the highs start to become lows. Like I think that's really just hit the nail on the head there, mate. You know, like when you're out there and you're partying and all, it's all highs and all, but then afterwards, it's a big low then.
The downers. Because what goes up must come down, like, and that. And I think a lot of young lads are very lost essentially. They don't understand that like what they're doing.
Well, I think that relates back into the sort of parenting thing as well. You know, fortunate enough for yourself that you had a father that could pull you and say, listen son, maybe you're going down the wrong way here. Let's maybe try and sharpen this up a wee bit. You know, maybe some lads aren't fortunate enough to maybe have that, you know what I mean? And maybe that's why they sort of maybe stay on the wrong path as well.
100%.
Yeah. I think it definitely relates back to the family, the house as well, you know, what way you're being perceived by your parents.
No, definitely, and like I have to say, I'm so lucky to have such great parents. And my dad, I mean, he's like my best mate. Like, I love going for a beer with him. Like, my dad he wasn't no perfect person. Like, he was a bit of a rogue when he's younger. Like,
probably as well, though.
He's a bit of a rogue when he's younger, but he's sort of like, obviously he's my dad. So he's sort of like, right, I fucked up plenty, so no. Do you know what I mean? So essentially, like, and he just completely, it just something clicked, and then I started back boxing. I won like an Ulster novice title or an Antrim novice, and then it snowballed, and then I was in the gym and Paddy Barnes was there. The Waltzes were in the Michaela Waltz. Don't you know about them? Commonwealth Games, gold medalists.
Definitely heard of them. Big names.
Legends, like very close to me. I met their dad. Their dad was one of my coaches. Still is one of the most legendary amateur boxing coaches probably in my life. And just things snowballed, and then I got a couple of years of boxing, and I was getting my life together. I was doing the bar at the weekends, still dabbling a wee bit and drinking and acting bollocks the whole time. I wasn't completely on the straight and narrow. I did have fucking mad weekends and still fucking have blowouts and stuff.
Definitely a bit more structure to the.
But a lot more structure. boxing, training like flat out, looking after myself more. Started to win titles. Started to maybe get picked to go away. Went to America, 2012 with Mick Conlon, another podcaster, Big Tommy McCarthy, Trum McCullough, Roy Shames, a cracking house boxing. Not many people would know
These
about
are
him.
boys you basically were looking up to at this stage, like.
But not looking up to, yes, but they're actually younger than me. Like, I was older than them all. Like, I sort of done it backwards, didn't I?
Well,
Like,
again, just sort of surrounding yourself with people on the same path. No?
looking up to you, I don't want absolutely, yes, looking up to what they've achieved and who they are, but I guess that's the I'm older than me.
Yeah.
But like, yes, being around that amazing circle and pool of talent, so Holy Family was absolutely littered with talent. Like, you know, and then Frampton, when he turned pro, didn't originally go to McGuigan's, he was training there during the day, so I would have been training alongside Frampton. He actually gave me a lift home sometimes, so he's going to lift up Paul McCarr, like he was sharing, you know, like, that's before obviously he'd moved over to McGuigan, and then he really started obviously flying, like, obviously what
it does seem a very genuine sort of down to earth fella, quite frankly.
Oh, I actually buzzing at the minute because like I really struggle to read books because of my ADHD. I struggle to concentrate.
Yeah.
So I love Audible. So I was waiting. When's Tom's book coming? And I come out yesterday and I was sitting with my missus, freezing outside. I was like, love, I'm going for a walk. She's like, really? It's freezing out there when we're chilling out? I says, no, I've just downloaded Tom's book. I'm damned. I just want to go for a walk and zone out. So I had to listen to a bit of this book and stuff. And they're so relatable. And he's talking about people in the book that I personally have met through boxing, different things and stuff. But no, so I sort of got lost a wee bit there. Like, I've done a transit there. Like.
Round about the 20s and it started to change for you?
I'm in my 20s, some things changed. And that's
until you've made the change though, you know, changes essentially happen, yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, essentially sort of, you basically came to a realisation, you know, basically I need to make the change in your own self, like, so obviously making that change is a big step as well, like, and then obviously staying dedicated to it as well, so it's been a long enough path for you as well though.
100%,
big time.
But it only gets better.
Yeah, exactly.
So from there, it was boxing. It was getting organised again. Up till about 22, didn't really know what I wanted to do, and then something just clicked when I was 22. And I actually went to my dad. Says, Dad, I want to be a personal trainer. My dad, and they were, what do you think? I'm 36 now, boys. This is 14 odd years ago. There wasn't many personal trainers about, was there? But my dad said to me, oh, personal trainers, loads of them, son. I says, they're a dime a dozen. I'm like, I don't think there is. Like, so my dad was always employed. He was always used to getting away, never self-employed. And this was like a risk me going self-employed and pursuing this career. And I had a job. I was doing the bar at the weekends. I was doing call centre work. I wasn't doing anything for me of value. I thought it was really where the mission I wanted to go. It just wasn't sort of relating to it. So I went to my cousin Lawrence Anderson, obviously legend, owns a couple of shops and pharmacies just down in top of Collingwood. There's a wee pharmacy, but he was a business owner. So I went to my cousin Lawrence and says, yo, like, what's the crack? Because I always looked up to Lawrence. He was someone that he would have went in the charity circle with. He was just a good role model essentially for me when I was younger. So I went to Lawrence, good bit of road, like maybe, he's a good bit older. I don't want to quote his age because if he listens to this, he can crack up. Well, I think he did celebrate it was 50th, so maybe get myself in trouble saying that. But he's a legend anyway, and I looked up to him, so I went to him for advice. He's like, yo, like, Lawrence, I want to be a personal trainer. I don't want to work in call centres. I don't want to do the bar anymore. And with the boxing and stuff, like, it's something I'm really interested in. Do you think it's a good idea? Like, do you think? And he just basically says to me, he says, look, well, you look like you want to do it, and you look excited about it, and you look like you could be passionate about it, and like, are you willing to put the work in? Like, are you willing to, if you do the course, are you going to go for it? And I was like, yeah, I'm going to go for it. And he says, well, listen, just go for it. But like this time I didn't take my dad's advice. I went to my cousin because my dad was employed and my cousin was self-employed and run businesses and own businesses, and So like, well, for me that's a better advice. And then got the PT course by 23, and PT course 23, and I was still boxing away. Things were going good in boxing. I was flat out. Started my PT. Got my PT course. Was working in the bar, and one Christmas all the staff from Fitness First come in or something. And I remember saying a guy called Michael McLeave, gentleman. He was the manager at the time. He come up to the bar and I was chatting away. I was like, oh, where are you from? I was working in Irene Nans at the time. It was real.
Right.
Played all the old school dance tunes. You imagine someone hyper like me was fucking like that. They used to fucking have all that. It was like raving, but I'm not raving. So like I'd be dancing about the bar. Yeah, I'm bopping about the bar, serving people. Used to get on real tips as well. There's all the Yanks and obviously chatting away to the girls. Having a bit of crack. But yeah, so where would I?
But I think in with the ADHD scenario as well, in a game like that as well is very beneficial. Meeting new people and stuff. Do you know what I mean? It actually can stem a lot of conversations. Do you know what I mean? It actually keeps your mind sort of ticking. Do you know what I mean? I actually 100%. Think it's a very beneficial thing to have sometimes as well.
Superpower.
Some people can't switch off, and in a way that's actually a good thing to not switch off sometimes as well.
Perfect for my line of business.
Yeah.
But where did we
get new ideas, etc.
Your uncle, wasn't it?
Aye.
Yeah.
Or my cousin,
sorry.
So he gave me a base of PT, got the PT course, and I'm in the bar working, and this guy Michael McLeod comes up and chatting with him, and like Michael, he introduced me to Michael, and I said, what is this? He said, we're on the Fitness First Christmas party, and I'm literally doing my PT course, doing the bar, to keep myself going while I'm doing the course.
Yeah.
I'm in Belfast Met at the time doing the course, and I'm like, yeah, whoa. Fitness First, I might want to work there. I'm like, here you go, what's crack? So I think do a couple of extra shots. Said nothing here, you want a couple of extra shots? And he says, yeah, can I call up and see you? So I called up the Fitness First. Says, look, I'm qualifying as a fitness instructor. I think it was a Christmas party in there, no certain. And I wasn't qualified to me. I was like, can I call up and see you? So call up and see you. I was like, look, when I qualify as a PT, like, can I work for Fitness First? So essentially, I was going as you're self-employed as a person, so I was going, and I think the first month I was doing like fitness hours to pay my rent as a personal trainer. Essentially, it's like a barber rents his chair. The Barber's Chair. We're back to the Barber's Chair.
What's the fitness hours then? What does that mean? Like you just
cleaning the gym basically. Opening the gym, cleaning the gym.
Basically then.
Yeah, well essentially that's what it is, but just doesn't last long.
And that would have covered your rent then, is that what you're saying?
Essentially that would have been like a sliding scale where they get maybe done 10 hours a week. And that would maybe amount to whatever minimum wage was. That £100? That probably less than in 2022.
Like £3 or something.
But so
at that stage you're not even thinking about the money. You're not really thinking.
You're
thinking about the bigger picture, isn't it? Like and it's you that sort of obviously seeing these wee things. People coming into the bar. Oh, he works for Fitness First. Let's chase this guy down a bit here. Do you know what I mean? So it's you that's actually making that. Initial step, you know what I mean? Like sort of saying, right, I know I have to start from the bottom, but I'm willing to start from the bottom, do you know what I mean? And
start from the bottom
look at we are, do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? So it just goes to show that you have to start from the bottom, do you know what I mean? There's only really one way to start, like, and it's just get started.
And that makes sense, because essentially if you think of like, oh man, I'm taking drugs.
Yeah, but what if in that bar, maybe you've seen these people work for Fitness First, and maybe not relating back to ADHD again, but maybe your brain isn't telling you to approach these people.
No, that's confidence.
Maybe the confidence coming from the old soul.
But if you look at starting from the bottom, like if you look like the trajectory, like so, and as a young lad, really smart, doing well in school, and then boom, you're back down again. Partying on a bit of dicks, taking drugs, fucking wrong company. Then bomb personal trainer going the right direction. No, like, cause like people like life is like your heartbeat. Life goes up. You know, when you're up, next minute you're down, and it's just so normal. Like it's so normal for things to be up and down at times, and like that's you're starting from the bottom and you're trying to build essentially. But that's something like obviously people need to realise too. Like and I always before I would have get really excited about how awful I was working. With certain things, if something was going well, I know I haven't touched on pro boxing, which we will shortly here, but like if things were going really well, I'd be like, whoa, way up there, and then when things went bad, I went, whoa, way down there. So like I live here now, like so like this is where I'm trying to live here, bro. I don't want to get too excited. So like I've learned through sport, and I've just learned through a lot of experience that like I can't get too excited when things are going well because the lows become massive then. And then I work with a lot of athletes and I'm like, when an athlete comes to me, oh, I'm loving working with that, and then I'm like, whoa, slow down. Like, what if something bad happens or something doesn't work? Just slow it down. Like, let's stay level about this. Let's stay humble. My own wee brand here, you know. So get a better brand in there. AP, Anderson boxing. But look, I just want to wrap up a few points here. So like, I winged it basically. I got a job in fitness first. I started in fitness first. I really started to get my head in the game. I was going with a girl from Cookstown and weren't actually getting on. But so I was living with her on near the shore road actually. So I was living with her and just wasn't clicking. And I just started personal training and we were sort of arguing over who was going to take this house on we're renting. I went out one weekend, my cousin Philly Mosky says to me, look, come on out with the boys, we're up in the Bellevue, and I'm like, oh, cause my head's melted, I'm breaking up by a spurt, and like, yo, you definitely sound like you need a beer. so I was like, I fucking need a beer. So I went up there to the Bellevue, and I was sitting down, and I met this girl called Stacey Dorn-Smoke, Waste Pest Mate. And she says to me, oh, you're a Don, aren't you? I remember you were a rocket down there. And I'm like, well, I'm not a rocket now. Like, I've calmed down, I'm a PT now. But she's like, what are you doing now? And he says, oh, I'm a PT. And she says, oh, I'm a boxer too. And she's like, no, you're not. You used to be a rocket though, because everyone expects you still to be a rocket. So I'm sure of a phone of girls me boxing, and the girl was saying it, ends up being my wife, Danielle. Chips in and goes, you don't look like a boxer. And I went, what? She said, you're a PT. She says, lift your top up. And I didn't have a six pack. She goes, she don't have a six pack. So she grilled me. And then I was with that, still with that other girl, I said, see, and then me and her just completely hit it off that night. And it was like, right, other girl ditch her. This is now my new girl. So my wife's actually more dog, like, and then me and her we just related so much. We just clicked and just everything just sort of, you know what I mean, just clicked and just mad. So like at 24, my personal training career was kicking off, I met my wife. Obviously I didn't know it was going to be my wife then. Sort of did know, I think I actually went to the cinema, I told us here, and I was just out at a boxing club and I was sweating buckets going on a date. You know, you've been training like mad and then you come out into the cold and you just start sweating, especially I was under a bit of heat.
Steam coming off you.
Pick her up in the taxi, want to read a cinema. I'm absolutely panicking because I'm sweating. I'm like, he's gonna think I'm a stinker. I'm not a stinker. I don't usually fucking sweat again. Just didn't get a chance to obviously, you know, I was sort of rushed out of the boxing club, still roasted and hit the road, started to sweat. And we went to the cinema and something about that I sort of knew. It's weird. I think someone come over me and I think, geez, I think this is the one. Like I think this is gonna be. I think it's going to be my wife, and it was a weird. I think that made me more fucking nervous, so I'm sweating even more. Just sitting beside me in the cinema, and I'm fucking sweating. No feeling like I'm fucking. But so like 24, met my wife to be. Obviously at that point, started personal training, started really getting my life together, and
that helps. It helps a lot though as well, doesn't it? You know, having that sort of relationship. Bit of backings from your woman as well, you know.
Oh, the support from her was massive. Like I wasn't making much money. Like,
exactly.
Trying to build a business from scratch.
But she obviously sees, you know, that they're in you as well. You know,
this
guy is going to try. Ambition. That's the word it was for there. Do you know what I mean?
But the ambition and the drive, and like she basically, like at the start, she remember buying me shopping. That's how fucking skint I was. Like when I started my PT career, like I started to pay rent then because I stopped doing fitness hours. Like it was £100 a week, and like 14 years ago, paying £100 a week was like, whoa! You wouldn't think twice about it now when you own a business because you know how it's like running a business. £100 wouldn't even turn the lights on that day.
I even go into town now with £100 like.
Now Tom doesn't do it no more, does it? But it's
when you're in fitness first as well, like obviously, and you just came off like the fitness hours. Then like obviously you're having to try and build clientele.
Yeah, that's
how you trying to build clientele there, like?
Yeah, because social media is not really too prevalent back then as well. Sure, it's not done. Do you know what I mean? Like obviously a lot of people now, you know, can start a page, can start a process without even meeting someone. Like, do you know what I mean?
It's funny. Like so like this is great for young lads here in business. Like probably I was back then, still am in business now. Like still have a lot I want to achieve. Never lose my drive to actually keep kicking on. Success and being successful is really what drives. It's not finances, but so I was in fitness first, and I was going around treadmills and with a pair of boxing pads.
Right.
Here, do you want to come off that treadmill? Then? I show you a few moves on the pads here. So, and like some people were like
calling people in the gym.
Some people were like, oh yeah, and then the other people were like, will you fuck off me?
Yeah.
So it was brutal.
But
Like,
nothing lost as well if they say no, like, do you know what I mean?
like here, I'll tell you what. He lives close to here, and he's not. I don't know what he could be a right old age now. Charlie could be in his late 60s. Like the guy, one of my first clients told me no, so I walked up to him, and this guy ended up being my client for years, coming to Christmas parties and all this, but an older fella, like, and I walked up to the trail and he says, oh no, not for me, mate. And I went, alright, sweet, and then I was on the gym floor, probably, sad face on it, and I stayed here, big sorry, somebody lad. So he came over to it and he says, here, sorry, I would actually like to try that. Now this guy ended up, he owned a fashion business, he was successful, he worked all over the world, he'd been in Saudi and all these different places, ended up being a real role model for me essentially in business, and a guy I always turned to for advice, Trevor Lovery. But how he come off in sort of like a bit of a pity party. I went, are you alright there? I thought, oh, I'm sweet, I'll take it. Then we got right to pads. Like,
I'll put the pads up for me, just hit me, just hit me.
But it was like, so he came and done a bit of pads, and he ended up being one of the long standing clients they carry. But from there then things obviously progressed in. So fitness first led to me working on frames, which is where I met you, Chris. Well, I knew you, but I met you again, and then when I was in frames I met Paddy Gall. Remember you were asking me a bit about the boxing sort of.
He's onto the boxing obviously then as well, Dan, do you know what I mean? Obviously, sort of how far into the sort of personal training has it led you to sort of want to now take it from the personal training into more boxing? You know what I mean? Like sort of, is it just coinciding with each other, or has something stemmed into that for you?
I think as a boxer, right? So as a boxer, I looked about me, and personal trainers were all about their Tupperware, their chicken, their rice, their eggs, their broccoli, and they're all meatheads. They're all taking their tops off. Sorry for the frame. You're not a meathead if you live gates, but a lot of them were on the gear and they were all standing there, I guess. And I was looking and going, "Fuck, I'm nothing like him." And stuff. That's not me. And even the conversations they were having, were like, I want to talk about sport and stuff that was interesting to me. So I essentially looked around me, and I was like, there was a couple of good guys in there that were in the strength and distance and stuff, and I looked about me and I was sort of going, whoa, I'm not like these. I don't want to be associated as a meathead personal trainer. I'm more into sport and boxing and stuff, and obviously my boxing career was taking off at the same time in my sort of 20s. Not massively, just as an amateur. I was starting to win a couple of wee titles and starting to get trips away to America with like some coming on. Big Tommy Mac, a couple of our boys. But then I realised that I didn't want to be. I didn't want to be just a personal trainer. I wanted to be a strength and conditioning coach. Because I met a guy called Gareth Quinn, and he done a bit of strength and conditioning with me, and it sort of clicked, and I was like, oh, really, I'll give that a go. And he started doing a bit of S&C with me, and I started, whoa, actually, I really like this. This is more interesting to me. So like a young man that was full of ideas and ambition was like, actually, I don't want to be a personal trainer now. I want to get qualified as a strength and conditioning coach. So starting to pursue that there, and then fitness first all goes tits up, and some other company takes over and they're selling the dream, and I'm like, no, I'm jumping ship. I don't like what they're selling here. And right enough that company folded. I can't remember the name of the company, but they took over fitness first, and it shit the bed. I split, and I was looking at a gym online, and it had loads of boxing rings in it. You remember, it's a pretty cool gym on it. There, it was called City Centre Gym. So I was looking at boxing rings, and there was pro boxers there, and there was a boxer I knew called Paddy Gallagher recently won a Commonwealth Gold, and he was going pro, and I was sort of like, I was looking on their thing, there was leaking all their stuff, and then a guy called Jerry McManus reached out to me. He was Paddy's coach.
Yes, that's right.
Reached out to me and says, yo Dan, we're looking for personal trainers, are you interested?
He's amazing, like.
But do you think, look at the timeline, it's weird, it's like fate just grabs you by the life at times, like, so it's as if something's already writ for me to go there. But so he reaches out to me. He's a pro boxing coach at the time, amateur, doing a bit of pro box coaching. I am in a gym where I'm not happy and I'm ready to leave and I'm looking at my next move. So like obviously, yes, obviously I was already looking essentially, but he grabs me and goes, "Whoa, do you want to come down and check it out?" And I look about it and I'm like, it's a wee bit rusty and like the weights are a wee bit spitting sawdust.
It's an old school feel to it, wasn't it?
Coming from a boxing background, but that's what I'm used to. That's what I'm with the boxing clubs. Like, it's spitting sawdust. It's a bit rough and ready, you know what I mean? So I'm a bit rough and ready. So it's like, what is that? I love TV.
Spitting sawdust.
Spitting sawdust. The amount of times I swore I go on, you're on cut, but
don't wait.
Get the swear backs. But so he made a mess. I go down and chatting to him, get a feel for it, and Paddy Gal's there.
And so you already know Paddy Gal before this?
I know who he is. I don't know him. I don't know him.
This is staying the friendship with Paddy also as well.
It's a funny story with Paddy Gal. So
shout out Paddy Gal as well.
One of the best.
Absolute legend, is like
one of the best. Yeah. He's choking boys out flat out now. He is. He makes some MMA fitter. We'll talk about that. But his fighting career's went there, but now he's got a bit of BJJ. Like, so, but choking boys out for fun. So I go to City Centre Gym, and obviously I'm a personal trainer. I'm not a qualified strength disc coach yet, but I'm pursuing the qualifications. I'm looking at courses, and I'm sure really great where I'm going here with this. And obviously I know like, oh God, Belfast City Centre, that would be epic for me to work in Belfast City Centre. This gym's above frames. I used to drink in frames. No, frames is a spot where, God, I think it makes sense. So down and see a gym, and I like the spitting sawdust, but to have this cracking boxing area with 2 boxing rings and loads of punch bags, and as an amateur boxer, I'm like, whoa, this is next level for me. I can run boxing classes like where people get into the ring. I can spar here. I can train with good fighters. So like it was like lightning bolts, and then like they had a bit of like strength and distance stuff, like good farmers walks and things. So it was like, oh, this place looks like it's for me. Then I moved from fitness first there after 2 or 3 years, and I got to there, and funny story, so Paddy, the first time I not met Paddy, he didn't meet me essentially because he didn't actually clock. Him and his missus, it was just after he won his Commonwealth Gold, so I watched him in the Commonwealth Games won Commonwealth Gold. I was like, God, he's a cracking fighter. I love his style, he's really thick, aggressive, and just, he was like, whoa, he beat Colin Smith, who's one of the most successful boxers in UK, through super middleweight, was he not unified? He was undisputed at one point, was he? Won all the super middleweight marbles, like certain, maybe it was unified. But he's went on done amazing. Paddy Cal beat him in the Commonwealth Games final. So I watched all this, but I'm walking down Castle Street, which, as you know, down 2 east from West Belfast, and him and his mister just crazy strolling up, and Paddy with his bit of swagger, and I'm like, oh, I was saying, whoa, Paddy Cal, what's happening? Well done, mate. He probably acknowledges me. He probably even remembers this because he doesn't know me. Like, essentially. So who's that round there? And he just won his Commonwealth Gold. So everyone's probably going, yo, Paddy Cal. Saying like, yo, Paddy Cal. He walks on. And then years later, then, once again, fate's a mad thing. The world just opened up also a mad doors at times. But well, you open them yourself, don't you? But you push that direction, don't you?
Exactly, mate. You
it doesn't just open now, you have
you make your own luck, you know what I mean?
But I agree with that. Like,
even when you were saying, like, just back to you even, like, just being doing your fitness hard, mate, and you could have, like, just sat by, but you're actually walking around the treadmill.
And that's class. No, honestly, that is class.
You're going to people like, listen, you're going out and getting it. You're not just sitting by and just being, and then the next thing you're going, right, I'll need to do a strength and conditioning course. Like, you're going out and getting it. You're not just sitting back and just being like, right, okay.
Ambition.
You're not accepting the hand you're dealt, basically. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I think I'm a dreamer, lads, but I'm a dreamer that makes dreams come true. Like, so, well, I've said, like, I've said things in my life, and I've said I'm going to do it by this timeline, and I've smashed them.
Some people say coincidence, but personally, I don't really believe in coincidence. You know what I mean?
Shitload of ups and downs, and hard work, and knockbacks, and doors shut. No, not everyone was opening the door. Like, you had to work really hard. But we'll go to meeting Jared. So meeting Jared Paddy Gal.
I'm sorry to interrupt the flow, but I just wee pee here.
I'm in City Centre Gym down Frames, and I've met Jared. And Jared's a pro boxing coach. So when I'm working away as a PT, Paddy Gal is there, and he's trained away by himself, and I'm seeing him doing a couple of things. I'm like, he looks like he do a bit of help with that. And me, obviously, wanting to aspire as a strength and conditioning coach and not a personal trainer anymore. Well, since he's still a personal trainer, he's still am now. But me pursuing the S&C, it was like, God, not only that, me just wanting to help him. So I'm walking over and I'm like, here, can I show you a few things? And he's like, all right, go ahead. And I'm like, well, see if you lift that this way and that way, and just manipulated a few things about what way he was lifting weights. And me and Paddy just clicked.
That's
Just like
These are very similar people in my opinion as well, Dan. Do you know what I mean? Very outgoing, very motivational.
Bit mad.
Yeah, it's good.
Rocket
Good
City,
genuine people. Do you know what I mean? I have a lot of time for Paddy Gall. I love him. He's class.
Be a great guy if he's there.
Yeah, I would love to try and get Paddy on. Like,
oh, you will. You don't need to try. You'll get Paddy on. No problem. Paddy'll come on.
Yeah.
I'll make sure he does. So I meet Paddy and I'm chatting away to him and I'm like, yo, come here, I can help you. I'm a personal trainer, I've done a bit of S&C work, I'm pursuing this course, blah blah blah. We start chatting away. Do you want me to help you? So like I start helping Paddy a wee bit with S&C, and then obviously that snowballs into something because Paddy's in pro boxing. So like because he's in pro boxing, then like obviously you start to get involved. And I remember he fought in Price, it was absolutely brutal. He beat in the final. He was in, he was out. He's only ever fighter to lose in a tournament and then still get to the final and get back in again. Don't even want to go in there, it's so stressful even thinking about it. So I wasn't in the corner that time, so after and I was helping out with S&C for that tournament, and I wasn't in the corner and it really frustrated me, so I was sort of like, right, I want to be in the corner now. Like well, if I'm going to do the S&C, like I was volunteering, I wasn't asking for any money, I was helping them out. I was like, well no, I want to be in the corner. So then I went and I pursued getting my first ever boxing license was my second season, 2014. I got my license out. So I got my first ever boxing license. So now I'm personal trainer, pursuing my strength and conditioning courses, and now I've got a boxing license. So it's a second license. So there's different roles. So obviously you can be a cut man, you can be an assist and help out with the corner. You have to have your second license, or you can be the second, or you can be the head trainer. So essentially I started as the second. So I got my second license with the Boxing Union of Ireland, and I'm still with them now. So
is there a lot of cost to actually getting those licenses, or is it just like if you just go to the course and stuff, just like,
funded down, or is
like obviously we have like a lot of younger customers in here as well, so if any of them are even maybe thinking about kind of doing that kind of thing that you've been doing, is it expensive to actually get to that stage, or is it just...
It wasn't even expensive, it's experience. So you can't just like, not everyone can get their second license. You have to be involved, or you have to be able to prove to the Boxing Union of Ireland that you are involved to a point where they're going to be willing to grant you a license. And then obviously there's a step up again to getting the head trainer's license. You have to have experience, you have to have a stable, you have to like notable fighters wanting to work with you that are maybe registered with the Boxing Union. So there's more, it's more who you are and your experience. It's not, and the cost is like €80 or something. The second license, and trainers 120 maybe or something like that. It's not crazy money, but you register, and obviously and it's a yearly thing, so it's more
and work basically.
Well, it's just working with the right people and being around it, you know what I mean, and putting in work to be able to work with people. But I get my second license then, and then I start helping out with Paddy's Corner. So there's a journey with Paddy, and then Paddy actually leaves Jared after prize fighter. Jared's done a great job with him. He was his amateur coach when he won Commonwealth Gold, and he was his pro coach. Jared just did loads on, load of kids and jobs and just loads going on. And I think Paddy just feels it's time to leave, which is strange because he ends up coming back to him anyway. Strange for obviously Jared, hard for Jared to obviously take on when Paddy leaves him, and bit awkward for me because I just started to sort of help out as well. But Jared's still working away in the gym, and then Paddy goes to John Breen. So John Breen's like an established trainer at this point, and Paddy's in Breen's. Very sort of old school in his methods.
Very well known too.
Well known at this point, and sort of like an old school trainer, and obviously respected boxer. So Paddy goes there for a while and is there for a couple of years, and obviously I follow him, so I got him training Breen's. I'm sparring Paddy as well a wee bit because I'm still boxing. So not only am I helping out with his S&C in his corner, I'm also sparring him. So because I'm still trying to pursue my amateur boxing. Still thinking about maybe could I go pro because it was in my eyes. Jesus, could I go pro? I'm involved, and then as my career, as I start to get the fight at maybe a better sort of level and get a wee bit better, I'm getting pulled towards being a trainer. So I want to go there, but my training's pulling me there. My personal training business is pulling me here. And me and Danielle, who I'm with her a couple of years now, but when I get to about 27, 28 or 26, 27. I'm sort of like, I'm getting pulled every direction. I'm like, I want to be an amateur boxer, I want to be a strength and conditioning. I'm starting to do the qualifications to be a strength and conditioning coach. I'm trying to be a good partner. And then essentially, I think with a bit of a run with Paddy, he leaves Jared, goes to Breen, he leaves Breen then Signs by MTK, they come on the scene,
Yes.
loads of money, loads of investment in boxing.
Yeah.
Like go to it there for the money in. So it's crazy because Paddy would have fought in the undercard of Frampton, so we're coming through the Frampton era.
Okay.
So originally when I started 10 years ago, this was the Frampton era. It was all about card Frampton, and if you run a big show on the Odyssey, you run on the card of card. So we see the McGuigans raise with card, and I'm in, like, we're at the after parties with card and with Paddy and stuff. And Paddy's obviously
It's all interlinking at this stage then as well.
Paddy's pursuing his career, and I know Frampton because I used to train him, and he used to give me a lift home when we were training during the day in Holy Family. So it's all starting to progress for Paddy, but also progress for me.
I was going to say, it's sort of in a way you're saying like this work is slowly starting to
Things
at
are
least
starting to
introduce me
change.
to a lot of different stuff as well.
You know what I mean? I'm not just a personal trainer now,
Yeah.
I'm a second boxing coach.
What you're putting out is sort of almost now what you're getting back, if that makes sense, isn't it too? Like, do you know what I mean?
It's all snowball.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
Snowball.
Yeah,
Throw a
yeah.
snowball, you're
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
get one back, aren't you?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
then,
yeah.
then more come. But it's all starting to snowball, and then
Love it.
so Paddy leaves John Breen then and goes back to Jared,
Okay.
and then essentially me and Jared, it's Jared's back to being head trainer and I'm second trainer still, but I'm sort of learning my trade along the way.
Yeah.
So I'm picking all these things up, I'm picking things up from being in Breen's gym, I'm picking things up from working alongside Jared, and then it's me and Jared for a while, and me and Jared start building this cracking team. So we'll have the likes of Conrad Cummins, Stephen Donnelly, who else? I think else, we Owen O'Neill.
Yeah.
So we're starting to really build a bit of a squad, a bit of a team. I do a bit with Lewis
Very
Crocker.
good.
We had Lewis Crocker for a while,
Yeah.
so it was working with Lewis Crocker doing his corner.
Big
Lewis
time.
corner for a couple of fights, still comes, and he's actually based in Glasgow now. Massive fight on Throne McKenna, another podcast there, fighting soon. And I'm still do a bit with him when he's home, but he's based as
No,
Thomas
very
Scotland,
down
like.
to earth lads as well. I like very down to earth fellas.
that's it. Very, I
Know
love
their
them.
roots, you know what I mean?
Boxers are very humble people.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a sport where you get punched in the face, like, so see if you're not humble, see if you go to boxing and you're not humble, you're going to get humble.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
like you go in and you go, oh, I'm a hard man on this, and then bang, you go, hold on, I'm maybe not as hard as I thought.
Yeah, exactly. Stop.
But so it's all snowballing out. So Paddy's an undercard of Frampton and stuff, and that's the Frampton here, and then Frampton's career's gradually sort of not come to an end, but he's sort of come to the peak, and then MTK's kicking off, and I know Jamie Conlon because Jamie Conlon trained the Brains. He left John's Brains gym actually as well, and he I think he moved to a gym in Liverpool or something, or was it, no, Glasgow, I can't remember where he was based, was he? But he's a guy called Danny Vaughan who's involved in MTK, and his missus is involved. So everything, the whole boxing thing's sort of just changing in a way that where someone else is taking over. So it's from there, then MTK come in, and I get to get an MTK sort of like era essentially. So it's going from the McGuigans being the main people promoting boxing in Ireland, the MTK sort of taking over boxing in Ireland and UK, and loads of opportunities are coming because there's money. So there's loads of players are getting opportunities and sign-ons, and Paddy Barnes turns pro. An amateur that I'm really good friends with and grew up with, obviously in Holy Family, we box with the same club, and someone a lot of respect for, absolute legend.
Yeah.
But you shoot down, you get him.
Yeah, but love that too, like.
Oh, he's a wee legend, he's
Yeah,
some crack. But MTK are really taking over now. So like I'm going through this year, so I'm going through like a couple of years with all being about Frampton. The MTK taking over, the rise of Mick Conlon then,
Yeah.
the Jamie Conlon's career's come to the pinnacle then as well, and boxing's absolutely starting to buzz again, and then
I know there was a big buzz around whenever MTK came along, wasn't it, as well? Like,
loads of shows.
yeah.
Boxing lacked shows. Like actually, to be fair, when it was the Frampton era, it was very hard times for boxers. It was hard for Paddy to sell tickets. He was only getting on shows
Not
the
much
odd
promotion
time
done.
because he wasn't signed with the McGuigans. He was just a fighter that was managed by someone.
So she is.
Managed by someone else, but because he was obviously a quality fighter, he was getting opportunities on their bill. But it was like sometimes it wasn't great opportunities. It wasn't great money. So like he was thinking like it was a tough time the Frampton era for other boxers. Great time for Frampton, great time for like maybe Jamie Conlon and I think Katsi or who else, or James Canis. There's a couple of other fighters that had a real good run during that time. Marco McCulloch, that's who I'm trying to think of. So there's fighters that were doing really well out of that era, but there's other fighters like Paddy that were maybe struggling a bit and struggling to get on bills. They were getting on the odd Frampton bill, but if Frampton wasn't here, he was fighting away. But it was hard to get on the bills that there was no bills here. The investment in boxing wasn't as much then. In other fighters, it was. Do you know what I mean? And then MTK came, they were throwing loads of money at it. There was everyone was getting fights. There were shows in the waterfront. There were shows in the Odyssey. There were shows in the Ulster. There was just so much happening there, and then that brings us to me and Jared working with Paddy and building a bit of a stable, and then Paddy fights for the British title. Right. And clearly wins it. So like it's clear as day. He stops the guy with a punch, and on the cut it's on video. It's there for everyone to see. Like I've actually got it on my phone. If we go and look it up, she'll up here. But Paddy clearly wins the British title. He fights on the undercard of Mick Conlon. So this is Mick starting to rise now. This is in 2019, and there's a cracking photo in my gym actually. Me and Paddy stand. It's Paddy's farewell. He never fought again after 2019. Paddy standing with his arm up, and I'm standing like that, going like, fuck have we to do? Like, what have we to do to win a fucking title? Because Paddy's had a bit of bad luck and ups and downs. Do title, he's never got a title. Like he's got a couple of titles, Catholic titles, but he's never got like a British or European over there. And he's a Commonwealth Games gold medalist. So like the expectation for him was to push on towards the European level and even possibly world level. At one point where we actually went there where I go time was fucking unreal. So Paddy got fought in Louisville, Kentucky. What do you feel tournament?
The title he fought for her.
The British title?
Yeah, did he win that?
So you're saying he cut the guy?
No. So let me explain that. I went off topic. Sorry, Jordan, good for bringing me back there. I'm off on a bit of a tangent there. But so Paddy fights for the British title. He's on just before McConnell at the Fela. The Fela's massive event. And Paddy, for us, he drops him during the fight. I think the fight only goes 6-8 rounds with Chris Jenkins, and a lot of respect for Chris Jenkins and his coach actually. Gary Lockett from Wales. We were on a bill. Conor Kerr was recently on a bill, and I had a fighter. So like this is a guy that obviously at one point's the enemy because his fighter gets a decision over Paddy. Not the enemy, but essentially like
it's competition.
He's like, we won that, and he's saying no, his fighter won it. Do you know what I mean? But then now it's like, well, Gary, you're a pretty cool dude. You're a legend. So I sort of message him and get back and forth with him, and I'm talking about me bringing fighters over to spar his fighters in Wales and stuff. But essentially,
so how did your man then actually end up winning that fight?
So well, it's a funny story, right? So the fight goes, I think it goes 6-8 rounds, right? So like in the second round, Paddy drops him, which means it's a 10-8 round. I don't know if people understand the scoring in boxing. It's a 10-9 round if you win it, like clear enough, and it's a 10-8 round if you drop a fighter or you absolutely bat the life with him. So 10-8 round, sorry. So and then Chris Jenkins starts to open up and Paddy cuts him with a punch. So when we're in the corner, we can't see that the cuts with a punch. You imagine you can't see it could be a clash of heads. So the official comes to say, oh, it was a clash of heads. It's not until we watch it back.
Did you see that?
But essentially they stopped it in the cut, and we thought Paddy done more than enough to win it in points.
And this was only round 2. Did that happen?
I know. I can't remember. The cut was like round 4 or 5. I can't remember the exact specifics. I would need to go and watch it back. But Paddy's trapped him. They stuck him on his ass, which means like it's a 10-8 round. Know what I mean? So like we essentially in our heads were definitely up in points here. Like we definitely sort of stopped it due to the cut, but they told us the cut is due to a head clash, but it was actually due to a punch when we watch it back. So not only did he win it in points in our eyes, he also won it due to he actually technically had to win it because the punch was a cut. So like if boxing had VAR. If we think, no, you can VAR in football. So if boxing and VAR, and we talk about this, think it would be so good for boxing if they actually played stuff back and everything, but I don't know if they ever will. But if you watched it back, essentially VAR would have ruled that Paddy won the fight. Do you know what I mean? Because it was a punch. So if I punch another fighter as a pro boxer in a pro boxing ring, and it opens up a big cut. Well, if they stop that fight due to the cut, why win it?
You win it.
Because
the damage.
It was caused by a cut. But if I headbutt them, well, essentially then the cut doesn't count if they stop it. It'll still go to the scorecards for points. So essentially it went to the scorecard for points because they said it was a head clash. But obviously it should have went to the scorecard, or it shouldn't have went to the scorecard. It should have been because it was stopped by a cut. It was done by a punch. Paddy won the British title. So
sorry, that just brings me to one other question that I actually really wanted to ask, because I've heard a few things and stuff like about boxing and whatever, like maybe you don't want to answer it or whatever, but is boxing corrupt in some ways?
Boxing
The amateurs and stuff too.
I never want to badmouth the sport that's changed my life
That's
from
why
being
I
the
was
man I am
saying.
today. But it's the most crop sport in the world. Look at the decisions you see, and look at the stuff going, oh no it is. And what I've learned as I've sort of snowballed in my career is just be very wary at times, be wary. There's a lot of people you work with, and some people you can trust, and some people you need to be careful of, because it's very easy for you to be led up a garden path in boxing, and it's very easy for corrupt decisions to maybe completely turn the trajectory of Paddy's career. Yeah. So just to finish that, so Paddy won the British title that night. If Paddy had got the title that he won in our eyes and the Belfast Public Series, we actually put an appeal into the British Boxing Board of Control about it. Nothing came of it. But if Paddy had got that decision, you win the British title, you then start getting the big paydays, you then start topping bills, you then start getting all the opportunities that he's been grinding for 6, 7 years or 8 years of his career. Or 6 years, I think it was year 6 of his professional career. So he's been working so hard. And us as a team, I'm part of his team, so I'm with him every day, getting up at 7 in the morning, hitting the fucking Real Peter's track, even when it's cold, fucking bringing him to gym sessions. Never forget, he had a cramped calf. His missus walked in, I'm massaging his calf, and then fucking hotel, and she's like, "What are you two creeps at?" No, Joe, the level of care for your feet. But and Jared as well, like me and Jared's working, and then and we're like, what the fuck? So Jared actually after that, but once the decision called, storms out of the corner and says, "I'm never coaching pro boxing again. Fuck this. I'm not doing this." So I'm the second still at this point, and I'm like, well, I am. My journey's only starting here. Although I was really gutted and heart, I was still like, no, well, my journey's only starting. I've just qualified as trying to distance coach not that long ago. I've got my second thing. I'm going to pursue being a head trainer now. Yeah. So then that's just to get to where we sort of are now. So this is 2019 then, and then 2020 I could get my head trainer's license. Lockdown happens. The whole world goes fucking batshit. Shit completely hits the fan. You think of the impact that had. I haven't touched the men's mental health. We did talk about it in between there. So my mental health probably suffers a bit like us all during lockdown. But I'm like, right, I need to keep myself on the lane because I'm a self-employed personal trainer. Gyms are shut. I'm not making any money. That's fucking stressful as everything. My wife is working for the NHS. It's a funny story as well. My wife sent me a photo at the start of COVID wearing this big sort of like gas mask. She was a domestic supervisor. She's supervising domestic cleaning thing. My wife was the first person to clean up a case of COVID in the whole of Northern Ireland, possibly on Belfast. So my wife was the first person to go in where COVID was with this stuff to clean it up. Just what as I said, I was like, you should sell that in papers. That's a cracking story. Swear to God, so it's a very humble and grounded. My wife should be scunded that I imagine that. But so she's the first one to get in medicine COVID. But anyway, so we touched the men's mental health there. But I think everyone's mental health struggled during lockdown. We all picked up bad habits. I think I was drinking pints of Baileys at one point. Drinking beers, but the weather got brilliant. It was so fucking melting. But I pursued my head trainer's license, and my wife have always wanted to open a gym. So my 10-year target of a personal trainer was to go to open a gym, and I'm in year 8 or year 9 in 2020. I'm at year 8 or 9, something like that.
So in a way, you're looking to turn this negative into a positive instantly, Dan. Do you know what I mean? It seems that that's your vibe along the way. Do you know what I mean? You sort of get a bit of a
flip reverse, lad.
Yeah, a problem becomes a solution for you quite quickly. I think, Dan. Do you know what I mean?
When I'm solving problems, my mental health's brilliant. Yeah, that's the best way to
get. And again, not to relate back to the ADHD, but I personally feel that actually activates something in you that doesn't let you sit still, in the sense that just accept the hand that you're dealt. You know what I mean? Your brain is taking overdrive to say, how can I get myself back out of this problem? Do you know what I mean? And that's why I think the ADHD is beneficial.
It's a superpower.
Oh yeah, like that.
As long as you manage it, manage it, it's a superpower. I'm sure. We could do a whole podcast talking about ADHD. At some point, maybe we will. Maybe we'll.
But there might be somebody that might listen along the way that say, "Right, this voice won't turn off this idea. This voice won't turn off this problem. This voice won't."
Fucking
exactly.
Believe in yourself. And
sitting still for people can sort of start to instill, bad mental health. They're thinking maybe too much negative stuff, but if you have that time to also put those negatives into that positive, then it's ultimately going to turn around for you, like, do you know what I mean?
But just at that time, like, I think we all really struggled with mental health and stuff. Everybody worldwide, and like the real pandemic was mental health after the real scandemic, pandemic, whatever you want to call it. Pandemic, scandemic. We'll not go into that. That's another podcast. But essentially, I'm trying to pursue a positive. So I got my head trainer's license in 2020. I'm on my wife for opening the gym, and she's a bit scared. Just like, Dan, could you really deal with the stress and managing the business and all that? That has been tough. Over the last couple of years running the gyms, and no joke, very stressful at times, and tough, very up and down. But I'm going the right direction with it, and the gym's getting better and better. PPT studios, get on it.
Indeed.
Where are we? Where is it?
So we'll get to that.
Yes.
So I'm out my back garden, absolutely demented, and I'm cutting down neighbours' trees, and I'm doing absolutely anything. Can I help you? Do you want me to do anything? Like, I'm messing, I'm phoning mates in Canada and America, and I'm sitting about the house all day, and I'm thinking, like, what advice I'm going on social media and trying to get people advice about staying, keeping your immune system strong. I'm like, I need to be productive. Like, I'm not used to being this. I'm used to talking, and I'm missing talking to people because I'm really social being who works with people every day. Who works with boxers. It was actually, there you go. This is the thing. So I got out my back garden, and I set up a gym out my back. I got weights and I got everything. I ended up putting the roof on it and grass, and my missus is coming back from work, and it's just seeing, like, I'm out the back PTing and I'm breaking all the rules, like, which isn't what it is. So like, I'm doing anything I need to survive, so I'm out the back anyway, and I'm PTing it, and I've created this wee gym out in the back garden, and my wife's like, hold on. Like he actually is really, like, that's amazing. He's a gym going out the back. So I think she's coming around the idea of, God, if he can run a business out our back garden, coming down and entry in our door involved. They bring people down entry to come to it. Like, we're living down there at that point, like, and I've 30 people a week coming to PT with me. Like. So like, she started to see me, and I'm sort of getting myself going again and starting to make a few quid off PT and out the back garden, and built a wee bit of a gym and all. She's sort of starting to see that. But funny thing, during the pandemic, so I was working with Big Paddy McCrew at the time, and I was just doing a bit of S&C with him. I was the second. His head trainer was a guy called D. Wells, and me and him had sort of teamed up at this point. So just before the pandemic, we'd sort of teamed up because Jared did the head up. I was trying to build a stable, he was trying to build a stable, so it sort of made sense. We teamed up. That was our team for a while. He's done really well and been really successful the last couple of years. Like, he was at the Katie Taylor fight last night, having it. But we're working on Paddy, and I phone Paddy, and I says, Paddy, fuck this, I'm training you today. He says, what? I said, what's COVID? I'm saying, I don't give a fuck, I'll not come anywhere near you. I am going to train you today. He said, I'm coming over to you, we're going to go outside the box club, and we're doing sprints. So I phoned Big Paddy, and Paddy's like, fuck it, right, go on, we'll do it. So I'm out, right, how are you, bro? Good to see you. I'm not the same people. Obviously, you're still seeing people, not as much. So Big Paddy's doing sprints up and down, and it's like, this is epic. And then next time I'm like, why don't we go to Mary Peter's track? So we were already doing that before. So like, me and Dave also Mary Peter's track, and the whole of like pandemic, like, we pulled on a bit of cops and all things. People complained about us, but we started training people. We all these young amateur boxers and all these pros all trained on Mary Peter's track. We're breaking all the rules, like, but we didn't. We were like, we were like, it was the only thing to keep as boxing trainers and strength and this, to keep logical sense
and physical.
And at one point I'm bringing like St. Louis Crocker, all these top pros right down my entry in Ardor. They're coming down the entry to my back garden gym. I have the punch bags up, and like, so see, I've actually videos this. I'll have to get just a few clips.
You just made it work. What do you mean?
So like, so essentially I'm finding a workaround, and then she's seeing this, and then things are clicking. So then I get the keys to my first unit coming out of the pandemic, and we weren't out of it. It was still very raw. And I go on and got this wee unit out.
So is this just after the first lockdown then? This is in between?
This just coming out of the first lockdown.
Right.
So I get keys to this unit. Shout out to Dingus, actually Dingus, local North Belfast, legend, like, for me. Like, got me keys, give me a unit to work away with, wasn't really charging me much. So I get the first PPT studios going, because in my head, PPT studios. So originally my business is Performance Personal Training in Belfast, and like now I'm going into it being an actual shop or a unit or a thing. So I've got something probably half the size of this shop maybe, but probably a wee bit more narrow this way and sort of a bit longer and stuff. So they get the keys to my first unit, and I'm fucking cutting it out and getting the ring sorted, I'm getting it painted and loaded out crap in the unit that have moved from one unit to the other, and
But from the days of walking up to somebody in Fitness First on a treadmill to say, can I take you for a bit of pads to
and
get
I'm
the
working
key
all
to your first, you know what I mean?
And I'm working with all these pro boxers, and it's mad.
Mate,
Things
you stayed on the projection to success, like, do you know what I mean? It's amazing, mate.
10 year goal was to open the gym.
Love it.
So I got the keys to the wee studio, got it out to get it ready. Fucking, we're open. Next one, boom, we're shut again because of lockdown.
Okay.
I get reported, so the people in Langanila thought would have actually been
Alright.
happy for me to come. There's no gym up here, so I get reported for breaking the rules. But essentially, I've got pro boxing. You're allowed to still retain professional athletes. During the pandemic, they sort of changed the rules, so you're allowed just professional sport. Remember Ali Hearn and he done the show in his back garden, and he done the bubble sort of thing.
Okay.
So you're now allowed to train pro boxers, which is talk of pro boxers be able to fight again. So like I still have pro boxers coming in the studio when we had another lockdown. And it was like, oh, I remember that we were revising the rules for a couple of weeks and all this bullshit. That was so stressful. But and then someone reports me for a change of use, absolutely hammers me. So I end up, I know that I can't. I've got guys complaining above me. I'm too loud, blah blah blah. So I just know deep down in my heart that this isn't going to work. So I'm sort of like, I've put loads of money into this. I've knocked my absolute mouth in to get this wee studio run. And I think it gets to Christmas and it's been going for 6 months and I'm devastated at this point. I'm completely melted and they're locking us down again. I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna have to call this, and I'm like, do I give up? And I'm like, fucking definitely not giving up on my dream.
Yeah.
So I went down to Dairy Millbury all night, and years ago I went in and asked them could I open the gym here, and they told me no. They were like, no, fucking put the paramilitaries in the gym and burnt it down. You know, burnt half this sort of business park thing. So I was like, nah, you can't open the gym here. This is years before, because years before I'm still looking, possibly adventures of opening the gym. I think this is when I maybe was in Fitness First. I'd left Fitness First and went to Gym Co, I think. Or not Fitness First. Left Fitness First, went to City Centre Gym before the pandemic. I worked in Gym Co for a couple of years. That's where me and Polly we worked together. We were both PTing together at this point and under performance personal training in Belfast. And then the pandemic hits. I set up a gym out my back. After that, then I go and set up a studio. The studio doesn't work because of COVID and all. So I went down and I spoke to them and they knocked me back and says, look, here, this was the end of December. It says, look, I really want to open a gym space. Do you take gyms down? She's like, oh, well, we have a gym around the corner now. Would that put you off? I'm like, no, I'm boxing gym. I'm something totally different.
Yeah.
So I get the keys to this big massive, you know, and I'm like, shit. So we're in lockdown again. It's like 6 months in lockdown. So like I'm putting money from everywhere to try and get this open and borrow money. I'm lucky enough I've started to get grants now because obviously I pay tax, all my taxes over the year. You know what I mean? Yeah. so I'm starting to get grants and I'm getting grants based on what I pay tax. And I pay a lot of tax, so I'm able to get grants based on my wage and my income, and I got like a bounce back loan, so I've got a bit of dough and I'm getting dough from everything. And it's like, right, fuck it, I'm gonna go for it. So I end up taking on this big massive unit. January 3 years ago, exactly January 3 years ago, this January will be exactly 3 years ago, I took on the keys. But like I'm sitting in this big massive unit during a pandemic and I'm trying to get pro boxing rings built, I'm trying to get squat racks, I'm trying to get dumbbells, and the ring's expensive as fuck. I'll be paid way over the price for half the equipment I have, and they breaking my heart. So
but equipment actually did spike in there.
No, that spike, bro. It doubled the tension. It was absolutely extortion. It was absolutely ridiculous. But I'm trying to get equipment for get this up and running, and fancy I've got what looks like a gym together. I've got a pro boxing setup, I've got a strength and distance setup, I've got a big whack of grass, I've all the stuff that needs to run a gym, but I'm not allowed to open.
What do you think? Do you think what in hindsight the pandemic and the lockdowns, taking the positive out of it, it was actually beneficial to give you time to just sort of focus on yourself? Because say it wasn't a pandemic, you might have been working for somebody else and it didn't open these doors to go out on your own, you know, that way.
The pandemic was brilliant for me because it sort of forced me into that.
Still got positive out of it, like.
The thing that was holding me back a bit was my missus was a bit apprehensive. She started like the stress of running the business and fair play because it has been very stressful. She's very good at it. My missus always good interested, good hindsight. She's sort of like, but if you had a lot more pressure and a lot more expectation.
But you need that too.
Pressure and expectation. No, pressure's for tires, like. You have to remember that, like, you know, you feel under pressure. Well, look, if you're in the right spot. See if I'm under pressure and stress. Then there's a cracking story about being 3 feet from goal. So there's this guy and he buys this big massive whack of land and he's told that there's definitely gold under this land somewhere, and he digs it for like 2 or 3 years and 2 or 3 years and many years and digging it for years and years and years, and he can't find the gold, and he ends up giving up. He ends up selling the land for pennies, and someone else buys it off, and a week or 2 weeks later keeps digging 3 feet in, bang, finds all the gold.
Where he left off.
So
Exactly.
when things are
Just don't down
stressful
tools.
and really I'm under pressure, sorry for interrupting you, Chris,
No.
keep doing that, but I'd say ADHD.
That's it.
But I always have to apologise for not fucking nothing. But now at my age, like I'm 36, I have to do it, because especially when I talk to professional people, like, sorry for nothing. But
see when you talk, sorry for interrupting you. See when you talk about pressure and stuff, like obviously you talk about like you're very ambitious, you're getting successful, etc. And the bigger you get with all those 3 things, like the more pressure is going to come.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is you just have to kind of deal with that pressure on your shoulders the more successful you get. And for play,
things are free to get a bag of bricks in the way the world, like, so like
absolutely
learning to switch off, essentially that's my big problem, and I'm starting to really work on it. Where like now on a Friday, I've started to go home with missus on a Friday, whereas I used to go and do a bit of coaching in an amateur club, but I'm helping out with Emerald, great amateur club, so I'm helping out with an amateur club a wee bit as well. But now I'm working every night of the week, and I've sort of realised that I have to go home one night a week. So like I maybe run the wee amateur session on Saturday, run one just yesterday, and took the amateur, sort of make up for not being there on a Friday, because I sort of feel like when I commit to something, I have to try and give it my best and give it my all.
Give that vibe off now.
Aye,
when you start something, it has to be
I've got to give it a go.
That's 1 second again.
Yes,
Me too.
where are we off to now?
So I'm sitting in this big unit during the second lockdown, demented, and there's all these appeals for gyms to be allowed to be open. They're good for your mental health. Nurses want them open. Everybody wants them open. And it's absolutely.
Like, it's mad that fitness wasn't a forefront.
Surely they keep people fit and healthy, but that's the scandemic. But some didn't seem right there. But you can look after yourself, and exercise is one of the best ways. Or you can go out and run anything, but a lot of people rely on obviously different forms of swimming. But you're taking people's essential lifeline away, I think, when you took the gyms, shut the gyms.
Big time.
But so we're in the gym, and I'm doing these sneaky one-to-ones. So I'm doing a bit of sneaky one-to-one just because I need it for money, I need it for Sunday, and I've agreed that obviously I'm going to start paying rent soon whenever we open, and I know that the bills are going to come up my second fast. So then we open the end of May, and I've got the personal training up and running.
And this is 2021 then at this stage?
Like 2021,
Yeah.
And at this point I was teamed up with that other coach Steve also talked about, but I sort of parted ways with him. Okay. I'm starting to part ways because I'm going off to open up my own pro gym and doing my own thing. So essentially I'm in a pro boxing gym for the first year without any pro boxers that are ready to fight, and we're going through a pandemic where there's not many opportunities, so it's like, hold on, this is dementing me. But I'm starting to help out with amateur boxing, and I've started to dip my toe back in there. So I've got the amateurs reaching out to me, and I've trained a couple of amateurs during the pandemic, big Lex West and all, I get my shirt out. So we'll come out, we're still sort of coming out of the pandemic, and they let amateur boxing start again, which was class. There's actually a photo of me doing the thing, it looks like a pair of knickers around my face. We're there, it's like spotted one, looks like a pair of knickers. So Big Lax comes out the pandemic. I've been training this amateur the whole way through. He's an absolute gem of a guy, really good man. I mean, still fighting at the moment actually. We're pushing towards the Ulster Elite title here, big target for him this year. Big middleweight. And I train the life out of him. I see potential in him, but he's a novice at this stage. So I get him ready, and we come out of the pandemic, and he wins the Ulster Senior title, which is just below the elite level title. He wins Boxer of the tournament. We then go to another big tournament. He wins that tournament, the Celtic Box Cup. He then enters the elites and drops the Ulster Elite Champion. And then the third round nearly wins the elite tournament, which was the Commonwealth Games selection process. So like this guy goes from being a novice, spends 8 months with me or 9 months with me during lockdown training, comes out of it, starts winning all these titles, and out of nowhere he's at elite level, fighting in the elite final to go to the Commonwealth Games. Doesn't get to go, gets beat on a split decision, but that's just amateur boxing, and that's the way it goes. But I'm gradually starting to speak to a couple of pros, and I'm starting to dip my toe in. I'm talking about Anderson boxing a bit more in interviews. I'm like, look here, I'm a full pro boxing gym. I'm good to go, lads. But I'm just waiting on the tide coming my way. So I start working with a guy called Dom Donegan, and doing he reaches out to me saying, Dan, look, I've seen you work with someone before, I'd be interested. He comes up, couple of fights with him. Then another guy called James Freeman. I'm working with him for a while. Them two boys actually decide to move on. One of them goes and then one of them I decide that it's not working. And then Connor Kerr, our good friend, he also comes to Dean Samuel.
Shout out Connor Kerr.
Connor Kerr, legend, King Kong, get on it, get tickets. Next fight being announced soon. I can't tell you the date yet, but I will.
Love it.
So Connor's been reaching out to me, and I'm going back to Connor, and I'm like, Connor, like, I've got 2 pros, there's other pros reaching out to me. You're my old clubmate, we used to box the same club. Like, you need to come now, bro, if you want to work with me. Like, the opportunities, I only have a set amount of professionals I'm willing to work with, because I'm running the fucking gym. I'm running the gym as well, so I'm running the professional, and I'm helping out the amateur boxing as well. So I'm getting through all these different directions. So, and Connor's like, wait, I'll come down to the assessment, because Connor's adamant he's going pro at this point. He always wanted to go pro. And always talked to me about it and stuff, because I was in pro boxing even when I was streaming, I was still involved with Bobby. So he comes down, does a session, and we just click straight away in the pads. And like, I'm like, look, no pressure. I always let people make their own decision. I don't say like, you have to train me because you can in my gym, obviously not. But they come to a session, I'm like, go away and have a think about it. You know, talk to who we need to talk to. If you want to work with me, brilliant. So, but he does one session, he's like, nah, I don't know, probably. So he's completely sold on me, and him have this great bond because we were old clubmates. And I trained his brother Derek actually as an amateur as well. That year I brought Derek to a tournament. So Derek was one of Derek and Connor were both my clubmates, but I've evolved into a coach. They're still boxing. So Derek's in his ear.
Connor's your first signing then?
No, well, I've worked with Don Donegan and James Freeman before.
Okay.
So them two are still, well, one, Don's sort of not with me at this point when Connor comes, and James Freeman's still with me.
Okay.
But so me and Connor working away together, clicking, everything's going really, really well. And then James decides to head on, which is sweet. He fights on the undercard of McConnell, gets the win, he puts his hand, and a few things maybe happen during the camp he wasn't happy with, he moves on. I'm obviously a wee bit gutted about the decisions at the start, and then I'm sort of like, well, no, maybe that's for the better. He moves on with our trainer, good guy, and I actually really like James. So I wish him all the best. And me and Connor really clicking off, but like, people don't realise Connor's unbelievable, because Connor's top amateur, fought all the best guys, fought for Irish titles, Ulster titles, everything, always was thereabouts. Fought at 57, the hardest weight you can fight at. Like, it's the most competitive weight. Frampton, Conlon, loads of boxers went around that weight that have went on to do great things. Brian McGuigan, they're the successful fighters, and he's at the real hard weight, so he keeps getting pipped in the final, and sometimes he clearly wins and doesn't get the decision. They've actually been big lacks. We thought one competing in splits isn't. That's the night Connor fought the number 1 Duke Gallagher, who ended up winning the Commonwealth Gold. Like Paddy Galford, just running back and all runs in circles. And stopped 2 boys, but Connor gave him a harder fight than anybody in the Commonwealth Games to go and qualify, and people thought Connor won, me included. So it just shows you what level Connor's at. This guy that he fought, that we thought he beat, went on to win a gold and stopped 2 boys. And amateur boxing, stopping people, you do see it a lot more now. But like 2 stoppages in the games like that is a big thing, and this guy can. Like, he's qualified for the Olympics, when he's going again, he's Ireland's number 1. He's just won the elite title recently there. But Connor's always been thereabouts, fighting at such a high level, but just not getting that big, not getting his flowers. Connor's never got his flowers. So he's so like, it's obviously he's got a chip on his shoulder when he goes pro. He's now 2-0 and we're getting ready for his 3rd fight. But me and Connor are working really, really well together. I've worked with Owen O'Neill before as a kid. We were both amateur teammates against. Weird, these boys are all my amateur teammates, and now I'm their head trainer. It's just mad. I'm obviously a bit older than them, like a good bit older than them now.
Triple O, but he's a very well known name in the boxing as well, isn't he?
Yeah, the local lad from North Belfast, mad Clinville fan. Like, was out with his first belt in the Clinville night. Essentially, I wasn't working with him, but it was still sort of behind the scenes at his corner, not in his corner, but standing in his corner, standing with his uncle when he was won his first belt and stuff. So there's a good relationship between me and him. We've parted ways at a period of time. We've worked together and then we've parted ways. Actually encouraged him the same professional. But he had a bit of a issue at his last fight, didn't make the weight, struggled, and sort of reached out to me for a bit of help, and left the trainer he was with and decided obviously that me and him would start working together again. Well, we both talked about it, and we're now working together as a team. So like, there's 2 of my old clubmates now with me, and then a girl called Katie Phelan, who in 2020 won the WBC Youth Female World Title, won a WIBA, and I can't remember the other thing, it'll come back to me, but won 3 versions of a world title, and she's only like 20 odds or 21 at the time, and essentially I wrapped her hands for a fight after that fight.
Photo, actually.
And me and her clicked, but I didn't take none of them. We just clicked from a friendly purpose. So she'd been messaging me during the pandemic, going, "Tom, I'd love to get back at it. What's the crack? Can I come to the gym?" I said, "No problem." Nothing comes of it. And then so Connor comes. I'm still talking to Katie a wee bit over social media. Starts reaching out to me again over the last couple of months. Owen comes, and then next minute Katie's messaging, and I'm like, "Look, just come up for a session. There's no pressure. If you're happy and you enjoy it, or do a session and see how it goes." Like always, my approach. I don't want them to come and I don't want them to make the decision until they've enjoyed doing the session with me. She comes up, she trains me. Try before you buy. She comes up, she trains me, and her father comes up. He runs an amateur boxing club down in Kildare where they're from. Me and him click a wee bit. He was there in the photo when I'm wrapping her hands, actually a couple of years before. And you just don't realise what impression you're leaving in someone. I get asked for a favour to professionally wrap her hands because there was no one there to do it, and I've done it, and you never know when you're clicking with someone. So she comes up there a couple of weeks ago, does a session. Her dad seems to click with me, she seems to click with me, and she's like, "Oh no, I think I've sort of made my decision." I'm like, "No, go away, you're driving," but she's just coming away from Kildare. She's driving for 2 hours. She still is coming up a couple times a week. And she's getting more sponsors. Someone wants to sponsor her, get on. She's going to be fighting a Matchroom in my eyes in no time. I definitely believe she'll be on Matchroom. The card that Katie Taylor was always on Matchroom. Eddie Hearn, the big dog in pro boxing, that's who you want to be promoted by.
So everything in that sense is sort of coming a bit full circle for you now as well.
Well, this is where we're at now. This is sort of getting where we're at now. So she reached out to me. She goes away and I'm like, "Go make a decision." And she messaged me going, "Here, coach said when can come back up." So she comes back up and I know her decision's made. My decision made. I love the work. She's already previously won version of a world title, so to me there's great opportunities, and she's a lovely girl. And she's a cracking talent. And she won a world bronze for Ireland as a youth as well. So she has loads of characteristics of what's going to be in like a maybe world class and go on maybe to achieve great things like the likes of Katie Taylor and all them other amazing female Irish boxers. Katie Taylor's the go to Irish boxing. She put that out, what a fucking fight last night. What a win. Epic. Absolutely unreal. Oh, Jesus, loved it. Squealed at my phone. She was watching TV and I'm squealing. What did you may win this? And then I start cheering like, "Man," she's like, "Would you calm down?" She's watching TV and I have the earphones in, looking at my phone. I got the zone on my phone. So I don't want to not sit with her. She's doing her thing and I'm watching. But so now I open a pro boxing gym without essentially any pros that are active because of lockdown, just a few other issues, and now I'm sitting with 3 pros. Connor Kerr 2-0, One O'Neill 12-0 Celtic champion, Katie Phelan 5-0, 23 years of age, previously won world titles, but I've still all the work to do. Like just because they've done that in the past, but Connor's been on my sort of work because he's won 2 pro fights with me already with me in his corner, and we're going for a third here. And we'll push on. I believe Connor's going to win some titles, and I believe
can't wait to see Connor's progression myself. Now I'm getting a personal friend of Connor.
To talk about getting him sitting beside me with the first belt on a podcast.
We are going to get Connor on. Like, we want to get Connor on at the start of his journey as well, so we can check back in with him. You know,
come again next year, 6 months,
with getting on. Even with yourself though as well, Dan.
Connor's sitting here, belt.
Coach and trainer.
Fantastic.
But so
be actually class.
So you have 3.
So with 3, but if it all to do you get what I'm saying? Because like Katie's making a comeback after not fighting for a couple of years. She had a wee operation on her arm and stuff on her elbow. I think there was an issue with her wrist and her elbow, which is sorted now. And she's had a long break. Do you know what I mean? Owen O'Neill has came from being with a different trainer, and obviously my state of training is slightly maybe different than our trainer, so there's a lot of work.
But the good thing is with PPT studios and also Anderson Boxing is you can go to PPT studios if you just want to obviously hit the pads, do a bit of training. You know, you don't have to be a pro boxer essentially.
Essentially
take a step into that world, but Anderson Boxing is there if you want to veer into the sport. So I think it's just amazing, mate. Like sort of having that 2 options. Do you know what I mean? Like, I can go and train with Dan and basically get rid of some anger, get rid of some anxiety, get in shape, and then also if you see maybe something in that person that maybe put you towards more sort of Anderson Boxing now. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? That also gives them that sort of opportunity. dabbling in that, like.
Essentially, Anderson Boxing, what it's about, so they get, obviously grass, because we've talked about a lot of stuff there. So PBT Studios is my business. That's my overhead, where I run small group personal training sessions, where I
for the
run
everyday person,
boxing classes for guys like yourselves, one or two person, where I run charity boxing events like white collar boxing, where somebody's never had a fight before comes there and trains, and it's for improving people's mental health, it's improving people's physical health, it's getting people in shape. That's what PBT's about. But essentially, Anderson Boxing's a pro boxing overhead, and essentially, look, I don't want to be any harm, but essentially I do see myself down the line promoting professional boxing shows and running my own sort of professional box shows under the overhead of Anderson Boxing. I want to do merch, so I've got this is a bit of merch here, and my Stay Humble t-shirt, like, I don't know if that's an AJ brand, we'll say nothing to AJ. But like essentially, so two overheads are working out of one gym. So Anderson Boxing is my pro boxing stable, and the personal training sort of works there. So like, I always dreamed, a couple of years ago I was dreaming that like I'd be flattered with pro boxers, and you'd see my coaches in the background taking personal training, and that's actually happening now. Like, so they're in PT, and sometimes I try to obviously keep a pro boxing separate to when people aren't in, but sometimes the class the odd team, like, so people are walking in for a PT session and I'm wrapping up the pad session for the fighter. Do you know what I mean? And then essentially, well, because I'm a qualified strength and conditioning coach, so like they got to me gives me a massive upper hand in boxers. So I know how to get my boxer. Not only do I know how to get them ready from a technical perspective, because obviously I've had the experience over the years, over the last 10 years working in different stables and different gyms and stuff, and I also know how to get them physically ready, and I feel like I've pretty much perfected my system. But not perfected, I've refined my system. Can't chase perfect. You're never the day that you think you know it all. You know fuck all. So the day you think you know it all, you're done. Especially in sport, in my eyes. So I always want to evolve. Sport evolves. I must evolve. New methods come out in strength and this, and I need to find out what they are. And
it's like barbering essentially. You know what I mean? There's always a new haircut, always a new style,
can
always
you feel
something.
It more?
I feel
it is like.
That strength and conditions just became such a big thing, like in any sport. Like I remember, like, you know, the footballers used to run about and used to just drink on a Friday night. And, like, you know, and you know what? Now it's like
nutrition, strength and conditioning, recovery, ice bath, and stuff like that.
So see for our customer base down here at Dean Samuels, all our clientele, say they are wanting to just do a bit of training, bit of, you know,
absolutely.
But where do they find you then, Dan? Like your Facebook, your Instagram, where are you actually situated? Where is the business? You know, give us a wee bit of insight on that. So how does someone actually find you?
So we're on the Crumlin Road. So just there's a Starbucks in a little directly facing the unit run, leading to Mill. So you can come and see us there. If you do want to come and work with me, you can arrange a free consultation and have a chat with me, and I'll tell you a bit about what we do. I'm really easy to get on social media, so I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, and I'm on TikTok. So Dan the Man. I've got 3 Instagrams: PBT Studios, Anderson Boxing, and Dan the Man. So Dan the Man's me. That's about what I'm doing. Like I'm doing triathlons and different mad shit that I get up to. Playing a bit of football with Tran. Anderson Boxing's for the element of boxing for amateurs that want to reach out and work with me, potentially maybe go pro. And obviously pros that want to work with me, where I do have people reaching out, but I have a full stable, sorry. I have 3 pros now, so that's me capped. I'm going to stick there for the next while and just really focus on them 3. And PBT Studios is on Instagram, on Facebook, and I'm on TikTok. So any of them formats, I'm not a hard man to get a hold of, obviously. And like essentially get a consultation. But I have to say, it's been powerful.
Because obviously, just, you know, we will obviously provide all the links on the podcast today, obviously, to find it anyway. So basically, hopefully, we can push people.
Tell us about the name. How did the name come?
The Barbers Chair was originated through obviously Cotton Daniel. We've been talking now for probably about 2-3 months about obviously getting this started. Dan has incited me, he's motivated me, he's inspired me. He's actually came up with the name, he's also came up with ideas. He's essentially pushing me towards this, and that's why I feel privileged having the big man on as the first guest. I feel privileged having him as a client to come and cut his hair, and onwards and upwards for us all, lads. You know what I mean? Like, hopefully we can push people your direction who might be struggling
mental health.
With even just stepping foot in the gym, you know, they might have anxiety about going, because people do suffer with thinking that they're the main character at the gym when they walk in, when they're 1 in 1,000. So break that ice. You know, you couldn't be going to a better guy that will help with that. Like,
I'd just like to say, obviously, like, thank you. Like, I mean, you obviously came up with this idea along, obviously, with Dan there as well. And, you know, we're using, like, Dean Samuel and
Sure, the Dean Samuel. What a haircut, what a spot, lads.
It's what we're all about at Dean Samuel's too, do you know what I mean? We talk about this daily.
Community and camaraderie and stuff.
And that's obviously another thing as well, like, you know, we're all here trying to push on to do more things. It's the same with Dean Samuel, the same with Anderson Boxing. And this is what the podcast is obviously all about. We just want to promote local people, promote their businesses, promote each other, and hopefully it
trials and tribulations.
Jobs again.
100%.
Yeah. Unreal.
Pleasure, bro.